is a side of the moon that no human being has ever seen with their own eyes from Earth. A world of silence. A landscape hidden from every civilization in history. While poets wrote about the moon, while sailors navigated by its light, while generations watched it rise and fall in the sky, half of it remained invisible. Not because it is always dark, but because it is always facing away. And on that hidden half, the surface looks strangely different, more violent, more ancient, more scarred, a place filled with craters, deep basins, and mysteries that still challenge modern science. This is the far side of the moon, the so-called dark side. And even today, we still don't fully understand what lies beneath it. Earth's closest companion. It controls the tides, stabilizes our planet, and lights up the night sky like a quiet guardian. From the surface of Earth, it looks familiar, almost friendly. We can see its bright highlands and its darker patches, wide plains that ancient observers imagined as seas. For thousands of years, humanity believed the moon was fully known, a simple sphere of rock hanging in space. But that belief was an illusion, because we have only ever seen one face of the moon, the same face, every night, every century, every generation. The other side remained locked away like a secret. And the reason is one of the strangest facts in astronomy. The phrase, dark side of the moon, is one of the most misunderstood terms in space science. The far side is not always dark. It receives sunlight just like the side we see. When the near side is bright, the far side is in darkness. And when we see a new moon, the far side is actually lit by the sun. So why is it called the dark side? Because it is dark to us. Not in light, but in knowledge. It was hidden from human eyes for all of history, a place beyond the reach of telescopes, a world that remained unknown until the space age finally arrived. The reason we never see the moon's far side is something called tidal locking. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. The moon rotates on its axis at the same speed that it orbits Earth. So as it travels around our planet, it turns at just the right pace to keep one face always pointing toward us. It is like a dancer spinning slowly while circling a stage, always facing the same direction. This is why we always see the same craters and the same dark plains. Earth never sees the far side directly. It remained hidden, not for a few years, but for all of human history, until one spacecraft finally changed everything. For centuries, astronomers mapped the moon with increasing detail. Telescopes improved. Sketches became more accurate. Later, photographs replaced drawings. But even the best telescope could not see beyond the moon's edge. No matter how advanced technology became, the far side remained unreachable. It was one of the last great unknown places in the sky, and because it was hidden, it became a perfect target for imagination. Some believed it might contain mountains taller than anything on Earth. Others wondered if it was smooth and untouched. And in the age of science fiction, the far side became a symbol of mystery, an unseen world where anything could exist. But science does not rely on imagination. It relies on evidence. And in the late 1950s, the evidence finally arrived. In 1959, the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3 became the first mission to photograph the far side of the moon. The images were grainy and unclear, but they revealed something shocking. The far side did not look like the moon we knew. It was heavily cratered, rugged, scarred, and strangely, it had far fewer dark plains. Those smooth dark regions on the near side, the Lunar Maria, were mostly missing. It was as if the far side had lived through a different history. During the Apollo era, more missions orbited the moon and mapped it in greater detail. And with every new image, the mystery deepened. Because the far side wasn't just different, it was dramatically different. Decades later, new technology brought a clearer view. NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, known as LRO, began mapping the moon in extreme detail. It captured high-resolution images, measured surface temperatures, and revealed features smaller than a human footprint. But one of the most historic modern missions came from China. In 2019, China's Chang'e 4 mission achieved something no nation had done before. It landed on the far side of the moon. Not just orbiting, landing. Because the far side cannot communicate directly with Earth, China used a relay satellite to send signals back. It was a difficult mission, requiring precision and careful engineering. And once Chang'e 4 touched down, it began exploring a region unlike any other. A place called the South Pole Aitken Basin. The more scientists studied the moon, the clearer the mystery became. The near side and far side are not twins. They are almost like two different worlds. First, the far side has fewer Maria, fewer dark volcanic plains. The near side has wide, smooth regions formed by ancient lava flows. But on the far side, these plains are rare. Second, the far side has more craters. Its surface is heavily scarred, like a battlefield frozen in time. Third, scientists discovered the far side has a thicker crust. This is one of the biggest mysteries. If the moon formed as one object, why would one side have a thicker outer layer? Why would lava flood the near side, but not the far side? Scientists believe the answer may be hidden deep inside the moon, and one place may hold the key. The South Pole Aitken Basin is one of the largest impact craters in the entire solar system. It stretches across a massive portion of the moon's far side. It is so deep and so wide that scientists believe the impact may have punched through the moon's crust and exposed material from its interior. This is why the basin fascinates researchers, because if they can study the rocks in this region, they might learn what lies beneath the moon's moon's surface, they might discover clues about its internal structure. They might even find evidence of how the moon cooled and formed its crust. In other words, the far side may not just be a strange landscape. It may be a window into the moon's hidden anatomy. The far side of the moon offers something even more valuable than geology. It offers silence, a kind of silence that does not exist on Earth. Our planet is filled with radio noise, signals from phones, satellites, and communication systems flood space around us. But the far side of the moon is shielded from Earth's signals. The moon blocks the noise, and that makes the far side the quietest place near Earth for radio astronomy. Scientists dream of building powerful radio telescopes there. Telescopes capable of listening to faint signals from deep space that Earth cannot detect clearly. It could allow us to study distant cosmic events with greater precision. It could open a new era of astronomy, and it could help answer questions about the universe that remain beyond our reach. But exploring the far side is not easy. Communication is difficult. Spacecraft cannot send signals directly to Earth without relay satellites. The terrain is rough. Craters, cliffs, and uneven ground make landing dangerous. Temperatures swing between extreme heat and extreme cold. And unlike the near side, where future missions might benefit from direct contact with Earth, the far side remains isolated. It is remote, silent, and unforgiving. Every mission must be planned with extreme care, because one small mistake could end everything. So what does all this mean? Why does the far side matter? Because it reminds us that even the most familiar object in our sky still holds secrets. The moon has been above humanity since the beginning of recorded history. Yet only recently have we begun to understand its true nature. The far side challenges assumptions. It forces scientists to ask deeper questions about how the moon formed and why it developed two very different faces. And in a broader sense, it reveals something even more powerful. The universe is filled with order, structure, and complexity, far beyond what the human mind can easily grasp. The more we explore, the more we realize how much remains unknown. And that mystery does not weaken wonder, it strengthens it. The far side of the moon is not a land of monsters or myths. It is something far more fascinating. A real world. A hidden landscape of craters and ancient scars. A place shaped by forces we still do not fully understand. It is not always dark, but for most of history, it was hidden. And even now, it remains one of the greatest mysteries in our own cosmic neighborhood. The missions have begun to uncover its secrets. But the story is not finished. The far side still waits, silent, untouched, and full of unanswered questions. And perhaps that is what makes it so powerful. Because sometimes, the greatest discoveries are not found in distant galaxies, but in the places we thought we already knew. A hidden world right above our heads.